Hi, we're playing. Welcome. My name is Hina, and this is a speaking class with me on immigration. And looks like we already actually have quite a number of people in class. Hi, Norbert. There is Norbert. There's Yuri, and we have Dimitri. Dimitri, hi. Can you hear me?
Dima.
Hi,
Dima.
Yuri. Oh, do you guys know each other? Yuri?
Hello.
Yes, he's from Ukraine.
Yuri is my
Oh. Oh, welcome, Dimitri. Am I saying that name right then? Dimitri? Dimitri, yes?
yes.
Yes, okay, awesome. Welcome. Have I had a class with you before? I don't think so.
No, I have never seen you, but I visited the classes of other teachers.
Oh, awesome. So welcome to my class. Yay! So today's class is going to be on the topic of immigration. I've set it as advanced just because I feel like it's going to be more, I'm assuming, more for the advanced students because we're going to be talking about, our opinions and expressing what we think on the topic. So if you guys are comfortable with that, you're more than welcome to join class. If not, then you can easily just sit out and watch, post comments in the chat. I'm totally cool with that. So right now we have our premium account user, Yuri. Yay! Norbert used one of his reservations for my class. Aw, that's awesome, Norbert. Thank you. And Dimitri, what about you? Do you have reservations or did you upgrade to a premium account?
I have had the last reservation free, so I decided to visit your class.
Okay, awesome. So you guys used the reservations. That's great. And then you have Koji. Welcome back, Koji. Koji. Okay. So as everybody's just setting in, after 2 minutes, the green button will appear, join class for everybody, and then everybody is welcome to enter class, and we will begin our discussion on immigration. So what I want to get out of this class is just an idea of, if you could, would you immigrate somewhere outside of your country? Where would you go? Why would you go there as opposed to other places? And then in the end, if you guys have any questions about Canadian immigration, I would love to answer those because I immigrated to Canada almost 10 years ago. So it's quite an interesting process, and every country is different, so I can't say for sure that this is what immigration is going to be for every country, but I can tell you that what it would be like for Canada. Okay, so looks like our class is full. Lots of familiar faces and lots of new faces as well. So welcome, everyone. I was just saying that this is an advanced speaking class, and our topic today is immigration. All right, so let's see. Let's quickly start. Let's introduce ourselves. Let's say where we're from. And let's say whether or not we've ever considered immigrating outside of where we live, all right? And then later on in class, we'll talk about why or why not, okay? So I'll start. My name is Hina. Welcome, everyone. I am from Canada, but right now I'm in San Francisco in California. I haven't immigrated to San Francisco. I'm here temporarily, okay? So I live in Canada, and I immigrated there 10 years ago, and I don't think I'm going to be moving anywhere else anytime soon, if ever at all. I love living there. I've lived in 4 or 5 other different countries, but I think Canada's my home. All right? So let's start with Abdullah.
Yes, how are you, teacher?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I am Abdullah Osmugam from Morocco. And if I have a chance to get out of my country, I will also go to Canada.
Yes! This is, you know what? I don't want to say it, but my objective is to get everybody to move to Canada.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Just prepare our visa.
It isn't fair play.
Yes.
Thank you, Abdullah. That's awesome.
Dimitri, if you go to Canada, just ask where Hina is.
She's in San Francisco right now. She duped you.
Okay.
Thank you, Abdullah. Next we have Dimitri.
My name is Dmitry. I'm from Ukraine. My dream is to immigrate to Australia.
Australia. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Dimitri. Next we have Florencia. Florencia, is that how you
Yes.
say? Yes. Hi,
Yes.
welcome.
Hi, thanks. I'm from Argentina,
Mhm.
and I have considered moving to a different place. I'm not really sure where, but maybe some place in Europe, or
Somebody. Okay.
yes, but it
Okay.
would
What
be
is that?
nice.
Of course, it'd be nice. Yes, it'd be really nice. Thank you. Would you move somewhere else in South America, or would you just consider, or if you were to live in South America, you would just live in Argentina?
I just lived in Argentina, but
Okay.
I think that South America is quite alike. So I would like to move to somewhere quite different.
Okay. Awesome. Good point. Thank you, Florencia, and welcome. I think this is your first class with me.
Yes,
It's awesome. Nice to
thanks.
have you. Fine thing. All right. Next we have
Thanks.
Hamid. You're welcome. Next we have Hamid.
Yes, hello everyone, and Hina.
Hi.
I am Hamid from Turkey, and if I have a chance to immigrate, I want to go to Germany, but no stable temporarily.
Mm-hmm. So
Uh,
would you permanently immigrate somewhere?
I want to go to Germany temporarily, no permanently.
That's
Because
what. Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
because
for you want
know,
to study to be a professor, yes. So what I'm asking is, if you had the opportunity to move permanently, would you go somewhere else?
maybe Canada too.
Okay, awesome. Okay, 2 out of 9. That's good enough. Thanks, Hamid. Next we have Koji.
Hi, Hina. Nice to meet you. I'm
Hi.
glad to be here. Yeah.
Nice to
I'm
have you
from
back.
Brazil.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. I'm from Brazil. I don't have plans to move around or to immigrate for any country in the world at the moment. But
Okay.
Canada.
But can that's okay. You guys don't have to say that just to make me happy. No, no, that's awesome, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you love where you live, then that's awesome, and there's no need to immigrate, right?
All
For
right.
me, after I immigrated, it was like, that's it. I'm not moving anywhere. I want to live here. So that's awesome. Thanks, Koji. Next, we have Norbert.
I am Norbert from Hungary, and I don't have a dream destination, but I would like to move.
Do you like to move? Okay, and would you stay in Europe, or would you go to like a different part of the world?
I would like to discover the world, and then I can decide where would I
Where would you
live.
go? Okay, awesome. Thanks, Norbert. Next, we have Self Dean.
Yes, Saifuddin.
Okay.
Yes, I am from Tunisia. Yes, I think about immigration to another country, but not immigration, just travel to see another country, or maybe to work in Europe, in German or France, just for see another mind, another culture, another traditions.
Okay.
And for reciprocal to help my country, because if I go to Europe or to USA, I will improve my mind, so I can help mine and help my country.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you, Saif. So what you want to do is you want to relocate temporarily. So you don't want to immigrate, because immigration is when you leave behind your country and you permanently move to another. So you just want to relocate, okay? Relocate is when you move somewhere else. But it could be permanent, it could be temporary, you don't know. So traveling is definitely not immigration, all right? So that's
Yes,
awesome. So you
just
want to
traveling.
come, yeah, just traveling. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Next we have Wolf. Hi, Wolf. Can you hear me? Okay, I'll come back to you. All right, Wolf. And lastly, we have Yuri.
Hi, I'm Yuri from Russia. I want to live maybe 2 years in Silicon Valley, 2 years in Liverpool, 2 years, no, 1 year in Toronto,
1 year.
Maybe
Just 1 year.
1 year. Sorry for my English. When I after Toronto, I'm sure
You're like, I am living here. I'm not going
Yes, we
back.
are here to learn. Don't worry.
And 1 year in Copenhagen.
But
That's all. For first 10 years, it's enough, I think.
It's enough. So in the end, would you go back to Russia?
Yes, of course.
You'd come back to Russia. So you don't want
Yes.
to. Okay.
I can show you photos from my town, and you understand that I must come back because
it's wonderful.
Not, it's awful, and I must do it wonderful.
So yeah, a lot of people have a sense of patriotism where it's like I need to come back and I need to do good for my country or my town, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that's awesome, Yuri, that you want to do that.
It's only for experience, for my experience. I want to see how people live, how it's possible. For example, if I want to open cafe, which of cafe I must open? It must be comfortable, delicious, and perfect, of course, perfect. Why not?
Yeah.
Different country, different cities.
So you want to broaden your horizons. So you want to know more about the world, okay? So that's an expression, to broaden your horizon. All right? So like to think bigger than what you already know or what you already, live in. So be like, okay, you know what? I want to learn more about the world.
Paris,
of course. How could we miss Paris?
2 years. No, 3 years in Paris.
Hey, come on. Toronto gets 1 and Paris gets 3. Tisk. I'm disappointed. Okay. So that's awesome. Wolf, can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to fix my mic. Yeah.
That's okay. Go ahead. You want to introduce yourself, Wolf, and tell us if you've ever considered immigration?
No, actually, not at the moment. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe it's possible.
Okay.
But I think we are misunderstood immigration. Immigration is not touristic tour. People immigrate to other countries. It's an obligation. They are escaping poverty, all kind of other stuff. It's not kind of luxury. It's immigration. It's not touristic. Kind of thing.
Okay, all right. That's one way to look at it. So Wolf is saying that immigration is sort of mandatory, where you're running away from your country because you have no other choice. Does everybody think of immigration that way? Florencia, you said if you had the opportunity to immigrate, you would to Europe, but is it because you're running away from Argentina?
No, I mean, this is not like an easy country to live in, but it's nice and I like it. I have lived here for 22 years and I quite enjoyed it. But maybe it's nice, as someone else said, to know something different, to meet other people, because maybe here you just get stuck on the same things all your life. And maybe to change your perspective.
Yeah,
I think that it's positive also to return to your homeland. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with that. I don't think when you immigrate, it's you're doing it under dangerous situations. I mean, sure, people do that. Like, your country is war torn and you want to go somewhere else for a better life, but it's not always that, right? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree?
Yes.
Yeah? I mean, so what are some of the reasons that people immigrate? What are some reasons that you guys can tell me?
Better lifestyle.
Better lifestyle?
Yes, poverty. For example, if someone is poor in his country, he wants to go out to find another opportunities and to get a better job, and also to make his life easier, not like his life in his town or city.
Yeah. So to a better quality of life, better opportunities.
Yes.
What other reasons? Yeah,
there is another reason to improve his skills in, for example, in technology. We know that Western countries are the most powerful countries in technology, like United States of America, Canada, Europe, and all of people in North Africa or Asia want to go except Japan and South Korea, and maybe we can say China and Taiwan. They want to go to America and Europe in order to have a good style of life and to improve their skills in technology field.
Yeah, definitely. Those are really, really good reasons. What else? What other reasons can you guys think of?
Another also brain drain, especially most important one, brain drain, because
what is which
you
one?
seem lost. Did you understand what I said?
No. What word are you saying?
I said brain drain.
Can you type it?
Branding?
No,
branding.
Not
okay.
Branding.
Brain drain.
Yes, sorry for my pronunciation.
That's okay. Brain drain. Okay.
Yeah,
what do you
it's also very important because some countries really keep the high quality of white people because they produce good opportunities for them. These people move to another country because their talents is really qualified because
confined
because they evaluate the opportunities. For instance, in the United States, make a lot of policy and produce good, easy way to immigrate for these people because these people is the United States or developed countries want to benefit their,
Okay, so they want talent. They want talent. Yes, that's
I have another reason.
Yeah.
For example, wars. If there is wars in your country, you want to be a fugitive in other countries, or to start a new life there.
Did you say refugee? Did you say refugee?
Fugitive.
Fugitive. Okay.
Fugitive. Yes.
Fugitive in your own country or in the other country.
In the other country.
Okay, a fugitive is a criminal. Okay.
No,
fugitive is
Yes, these fugitives want to get out from the country in order to not go to jail or prison.
Okay.
Yes, and there is other reason. For example, if there is a dictator regime in your country and they're not allowed to express your political opinion, they put these people in jail, and those people want to go out to express their opinions out there. For example, they go to Sweden and Scandinavian countries, I guess.
Scandinavian countries, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so political oppression, societal oppression is a big reason that people
was problem.
Yeah. So Wolf was saying that a lot of developed nations, they want the talent that cannot grow in its own country to come to them. Okay, right? That's basically what you said, right, Wolf? So in the United States, for example, if you're from a country which is very poor and you are not able to do the kind of job that you want, and you have the talent and you have the ability, then you would immigrate to the US, or you would immigrate to the West, where your talent would be
yes, to show them your skills.
Yeah, your talent would be appreciated and you could grow on it. That's a good point. Well, that's it.
Exactly.
So more or less, because if you ever in a poor country, okay, you can be successful because you are talented. But United States provide you better education. You have a chance to go to university in the United States, in the best university. That's the challenge. Why is your country couldn't provide this opportunity to you? But the United States do not for you, for their own benefit. They have to keep fresh blood is new people, new talents.
Okay, yeah. So sure, there's two sides of the argument.
They will adopt your skills, and you will have a chance to give you this country the money to start your project.
So it's a give and take, right? So where you move, they give you all the benefits that you can't have in your own country, and in return, you are giving them your skills.
Exactly,
it's like a trade-off.
It's a trade, yes, trade.
This is called a trade-off. Okay. Yeah.
What Walt said is an expression that it's really it's well known and common here in Argentina, because it's something that really happened, and in fact the government stopped providing funds to science and technology, so many scientists or people doing research had to move out because they couldn't live here. That's like also a kind of a plan on behalf of the government. And for example, now they are trying to get that people again here. But it's like it was common quite some years ago for scientists and many people to leave the country to try to earn a living outside here because they didn't have an opportunity. Here in Argentina, it happened many times, not only with the science, but also with people coming here because they didn't have a work and then living here because trying to live and to go to another country because here it was all falling apart. So it's people coming and going from here all the time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you guys might find this surprising, but what Florencia said, it happens in Canada as well. Canada has 10 provinces. So if one province cuts funding in, say, research and science, then people move provinces because they're not able to work in their province anymore, So these are big issues, and they just don't happen in developing or underdeveloped nations. You can have them in developed countries as well. Thanks, Florencia, for bringing that up.
Okay.
What other reasons?
One question.
Yeah, go ahead, Yuri.
Not very good questions.
Okay, that's okay. Go ahead.
Why do you think that if you have a good skill, you can't work in your country?
Okay, so
by internet, for example. Why not?
Okay, all right.
Why you must travel? Why you must leave your country?
Okay. So what do you guys think?
There is a lot of reason. First of all, like I said, if there is a regime, he don't give you a hand to work your project and to have a chance to prove yourself. And also, if you say an opinion that is not loved by the regime, they put you in jail. And also, there is no equal chance in this country. For example, if you know someone in high post on high issue in government,
people who have a higher status than you.
A higher status than you. If you don't know one of them, you will not have a chance to have the certainty, I guess, is this what exists in
English.
You
think that when you leave your country, you support your friends and your family, abandon them in face to face with devil government?
Yes, Yuri, everyone love his country, but if you have problems to prove yourself in your country, you will must to go outside.
And a lot of times Yuri's asking that you would leave your family behind, so your family is left behind suffering, but you have left. So so what happens in that situation? What happens? Go ahead, Will.
So you can take your family. It's not going to be a problem. But I think the reason why you leave country, I think, imagine yourself, you're a scientist, really into with space, but only one way you become famous and get more resources. NASA is well known as an institute in United States. You can compare other resources, in space resources, with the NASA at the moment. Because that's the point why people move to other countries. Other countries, I think, in United States international arena, because maybe if you stay in your country, you become a good scientist in the future, but you're stuck in domestic borders.
So what you guys are saying, what Abdullah and what Wolf is saying, is basically that the country that you move to, they know how to nurture your talent. So they know how to value what you have and how to use it appropriately. So if you really have a skill, they're not going to expect you to have a lot of money. They're not going to expect you to be rich. Or know people who are politics to get you in a position that you deserve. You will work your way up because you will get there by merit. All right?
You will sacrifice your life for nothing in your country.
Yeah. And again,
when you immigrate in the United States, for example, when you try to work in the United States, you get H-1B visa, and you can work, but your wife can't. No, your wife can't.
That's a work permit.
Your children can't work.
That's a work permit. That's different. What you're talking about, Yuri, that's not immigration. That's a work permit.
But a lot of people start your immigration from H-1B, and then they add 1 year. Then they sign up for green card. And try to stay in the United States, but first 5 years, your wife can't work really.
So
there is not very good statistics that the most young family who immigrate to United States, they divorce.
They get divorced.
They get divorced after 2 years.
Okay, so that's a good point. Do you
more
think
than 50%? More than 50%, really.
Okay. So that's a good point that Yuri brings up. So Yuri is saying that a lot of families, when they immigrate to the United States, after 2 years, the husband and wife, they divorce. Okay. So why do you think that happens?
To get the green card?
To get the green card? Not really. I mean, if your family has immigrated, then everybody will get
green card after 5 years.
They all move together. So they all move together.
With children, guys. With children.
With children.
I think you change the way of life. People start to work in a different position, maybe working more than they used to be. They used to work. They are away from family, have no friend support, and this turn the life difficult.
So they grow apart. Okay. What about the fact that in a lot of countries, a lot of developing or underdeveloped countries, the women have no choice but to stay married to the man. I mean, if they get married and they have kids, they are not able to work. They're not able to support themselves. So when they move to another country and if they get divorced, isn't that another way of saying that the woman had the power to get divorced, that she had the freedom to leave a man that she didn't want to live with in her own country?
To be equal to the man.
Exactly. I mean, if you come from a country where women are suppressed and you get married and you have no choice but to live with the man, maybe you don't love him, maybe he abuses you, but you don't have a choice. You can't leave him. When you immigrate to another country, you can leave him now. I mean, what do you think, Yuri? You're the one who brought this point up, so I want to know what your opinion is.
I believe if a man love a woman and the woman love the man, they cannot be divorced.
Okay, yeah, all right.
That's first of all. Yes. And if there is a problems in the new country, they should fix it, not to divorce, because the children will be the victim.
Yeah, and again, we're not. Yeah, that's really good, valid points. But do you guys really think that immigration is the reason that people get divorced?
No, it's not the main problem. The main reason.
Okay, Yuri, you want to say something? Go ahead, Yuri.
Guys, without friends. Without friends, usually it is very difficult for wife to learn language, because she has children, she has a house, and she don't have time for any language courses. Usually in the United States, especially software developers bought a house in downtown, and for wife not enough communicate. They don't have any community. and often they take part in, for example, Russian or Ukraine parties, and they communicate only with Russian, only with their native languages community.
Yeah, yeah. So they close themselves off.
Yes,
so they only
yes.
talk to their own kind of people who come from the same city or the same country. Okay.
And husband, he works from morning to evening. Really, these 2 years he must work in from morning to evening, and he don't have enough time for his wife. Really, it is a big problem, and it is very difficult time for family.
Okay. All right. And what else? What do you guys have to say?
I think that, well, in terms of language, for example, the case of the wife, as he was saying, she will have to take the kids to school or to buy things or to go to the supermarket. And even when she doesn't have the time to go to a course or to try to learn English in that way, maybe she will learn it by using it because she needs it. She needs to know how to buy things, how to, and also to help her kids at school and different stuff. So maybe just like in sort of survival, she will learn and maybe better, and people that spend years trying to learn it in a formal way.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Submerging yourself in a culture is the best way to learn a language. That's like by far that is the best way to learn a language. So
of course, it's. I think the one is a challenge is a cultural exchange because a lot of people when move to another country come across the cultural exchange is really have a difficult time. But I think there's another problem because I think it's problem in here assimilates. Am I right? As people couldn't assimilate the country, that's going to be a problem. That's create divorce and other social problems. But on the other hand, some people not really willing to learn the language. More and more immigrants want to keep their language, their culture, and some are, I don't know, wanting to govern religious or special laws. They require special things for them because they couldn't assimilate the cultures. That's its problem. It's starting in here.
So you're saying that the next generation is confused because they don't know their culture and they don't know where they came from.
No. Yeah, I am respond to divorce. Yeah. You said you mentioned that people why divorce. I am saying divorce because cultural exchange assimilate. People divorce they couldn't assimilate the countries because some immigrants don't want to really learn, willing to learn the language. They want to keep their language, their culture. They are really close. If you remain close in another country, you have a problem always. Especially for your children. Between is a generation. I mean, first generation and second generation is really, I think, is a problem. If people solve the assimilate problem, they easily assimilate the country, I think there wouldn't be any problem for their life, like a divorce.
Okay, that's a good point.
Hina, you are saying exactly the opposite. I really didn't have thought about that. You are saying that maybe people get divorced because they assimilate the culture and the freedom and the possibility to live under other values and don't need to be married only because their family had made that choice for them.
It's depends on.
Yes, it's interesting.
Yeah, right. It depends on where do you come from. Depends on your culture. If you came close culture, it's going to be a problem. But if you came is an open culture, it's not going to be a problem. Because,
and that's true. I mean, who we are depends on where we come from, right? So if you move to an open-minded
Yes.
place and you come from an open-minded country, you're not going to have a problem. But if you come from a place where you have had to live through suppression and a lot of oppression, then it'll be hard for you to come to a world where everything is open and everyone's free, right? It's difficult to it's difficult to adapt. Okay, adaptation becomes
I
hard.
really hadn't think about that because I live in Brazil, and Brazil is a very open-minded culture. So
Go ahead.
no, yeah, we don't have this kind of thing in mind. If you don't want, you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. And for a lot of people who do consider immigration, they don't have that. It's just what is said is what needs to be done. I want to know would reasons such as education and healthcare, would those be enough to make you guys want to move?
I think yes.
Yes? Which one, Norbert?
Education maybe.
Okay.
Because if you can attempt maybe in the United States for a famous university.
Norbert, Canada, and University of Waterloo. Norbert, only Canada and University of Waterloo.
That's okay. What about
Then maybe you would like to live there after the university.
Okay, so you move for a good school. Okay. What about healthcare?
Healthcare is in Canada, not in United States, I guess.
That's universal. That's universal healthcare. But is that a big factor? Would that be a big enough reason that you would consider leaving your home? Like, say you don't have access to good medical facilities. You know, say one of your parents is sick. Yeah. Go ahead, Yuri.
No, after you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
He's practicing sport.
There's what? Sorry, Dila?
He's practicing sport. It doesn't attempt to participate.
Okay, doesn't. All right. So yeah, what if in your country you have a parent who has an illness, or you have a child who's sick, and you're not able to provide for them where you live because medical facilities are not available, hospitals, they're too expensive? Would that be good enough reason for you to be like, okay, I need to leave so I can give the ones that I care about a better standard of life?
Yeah, it's good, but it's not enough. You want, it's okay, but it's not enough because some countries really open their doors for really is really easy for some countries, but for some countries it's really close. Look at the United States.
And I'm not saying that when you immigrate you only immigrate to the US. Okay, there's all of Europe, there's all of Australia. You can even immigrate to like parts of Asia. So I mean, immigration should not just be limited to the US or to Canada. I mean, there are awesome medical facilities all over the world. I mean, Australia has some of the best healthcare facilities in the world. So go ahead, Will.
It is the same. Sorry, not for giving example about United States. Also, it's the same the Europe countries. I want to make a point because if you look at the United States immigration policy for Canada, North Gate is really easy to get in the jump in the United States. But if you look at the South Gate in Mexico, it's really hard to get in the United States. But policies is not fair for countries. They're not only United States, for other Europe countries or other countries. It is the same. It's not fair.
So that's why people move to where it's easy, right? I mean, if you're leaving your country and you're doing it for health purposes, then do you really care that you're going to the USA or if you're going to England? You just want to go where there are good health facilities, right?
Exactly, yes.
Right? So then you would look for a country where you can easily immigrate to that will give you the most health benefits for what you need, you know? I mean, that's one of the big... Yeah, go ahead, Yuri.
I know one family who immigrate from Moscow to Prague because their children was ill. And they choose a good climate for his health, and now they are happy in Czech Republic, but they work for Russian company.
They work for a Russian company.
Working, yes.
Okay. But they are Czech citizens. So just a minute, Abdullah. So they're Czech citizens. They immigrated. They're residents of Czech Republic now.
Here, for example, many young people from Chile, for example, come here because of the public education.
Public education, yeah.
Yes, we have public universities. We have many other problems in, for example, primary and secondary schools. But there are great universities, and they are public, and they are, for example, all of them are in Buenos Aires. And many people come here because it's easier for them, and it's less expensive to move here than to try to afford education in their
own country.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and Abdullah, you were going to say something?
Yes, as you said, there is many reason, health reason that put people to travel to another countries. For example, people who suffer from cold weather,
Cold
they
weather,
go
yeah.
cold weather. They go to countries where the weather is hot, warm, in order to start their lives there, because they suffer in their own country.
Yeah. So there can be a whole plethora of reasons. It doesn't have to be like a life-threatening sickness. You could really be afflicted by cold weather and you wouldn't want to live there. So let me change up the conversation a little bit. So you're saying that when people immigrate, it's only because they want to escape from where, like, so far what we've been talking about is immigration is basically people wanting to leave behind their country for a better life, okay? So they go to another country, they go to Europe, they go to Australia, they go to Canada, they go to the United States, whatever, okay? What do the countries that they immigrate to, so why does Canada have immigration? Why do they let people in?
They need people.
They need people. Why do they need people?
For work.
For work? What else? What else do they need people for?
Because I think that some people which live in that country, they don't want to do any hard work. That's why they
they get immigration. Okay,
yeah.
that's okay. That's. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true, but that's one way to look at it. What other reasons? Why do these countries, especially European countries, and let's look at Canada in particular. Let's forget about the States. Why do these countries in particular have such open immigration? Why are they still accepting immigrants?
Maybe it helped to grow the economy.
Yeah, exactly. These countries, the people who live in these countries who are natives, they are not having children anymore. So how are you going to sustain your population if the people who live in your country don't have kids? Canada's fertility is less than 1. So most families have less than 1 child, meaning they have no kids. Okay? So in order to grow your population, to sustain your country economically, every family needs to produce 2 children to replace the parents. So when the parents get old and they stop working, they need to have at least 2 children to replace the parents who have stopped working. So in these countries, in European countries, in Canada, people don't have children, or they have less than the children that they need to sustain economic growth. So how are these countries going to grow? How are they going to take? Yeah, how are they going to take care of their aging population? Yeah, go ahead.
I think we are talking about immigration policy. I think fertility rate. Am I right? But it's a fertility rate.
For what?
Fertility rate. Fertility rate about making.
Could you write it in the chat?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not getting what you're saying, Will.
Okay, I'm writing in the Hangout chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for my.
That's okay. No need to apologize. I'm having an issue understanding you. But what do you guys think about that? I mean,
what all you said is correct.
Fertility rate.
Yeah, exactly what you're talking about this, because I think sometimes it's not going to work, because if you look at the fertility rate, if you compare, but in the last 30 years, and now some really is a dropping, losing blood.
All over the world.
Cut the short long story. I want to say it's going to be sometimes wrong policy if you carry out your immigration policy based fertility rate.
But no, I'm not saying that immigration policy is written based on fertility, but that is another reason, right? That is the reason why immigration exists in the first place, right? That is the reason why people want to, I mean, do you see people wanting to move to countries in Africa, or to say, let's say in India or China, those countries are overpopulated. They don't even have the enough resources to take care of the people that live there.
Yeah, they want to export their own people.
Yeah, so people leave these countries because there's no resources, because there's so many people. So
Yes.
immigration, one of the reason immigration exists is to make up for this difference that exists in the world, where the developing countries have a lot of people and no resources, and the developed nations have a lot of resources and no people. Okay, so there's yeah, go ahead, Yuri. You're muted. Unmute yourself. Oh, we can't hear you, Yuri. Okay, so we had Alan. Alan just joined us.
Hey.
Okay, go. I'll come back to you, Alan. Go ahead, Yuri.
Good question for Alan. He moved from French to England. It is one very good country, and second, very good country too. Why?
So, Alan, we're asking you, why did you move from France to England? You moved from a developed country to another developed country.
For myself, I just wanted to leave where I wanted to leave my parents first. So that was an opportunity, and then because I wanted to improve my English, and also because there is much more work in my field
in England than there is in France.
Yes.
Okay.
And the salaries are higher.
Salaries are higher. Have you immigrated, or have you just relocated on a work permit?
I don't need this because it's in Europe.
Okay.
So your passport is enough, so you can travel. You can live anywhere you want in Europe because you have your passport. But if an American person, for example, comes to England, they have limits.
So they
I
need.
forgot that it is Europe. It's like one big country.
Yeah. So all the countries in the European Union they're not a big country, but it's like they're a big country. They're like different provinces in a country.
Yes, open border.
Yeah, open border, basically.
Exactly.
So Alan's situation, go ahead, Alan.
I had an idea regarding what you just said. It's interesting, but the thing is that it's not what the people against immigration are thinking. They are saying basically that the immigrants, for example, the Mexican people coming in America, are stealing their jobs. And they are saying that there is already a lot of people, and there is not enough jobs, and there is immigration which stealing the job they could have.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And that puts a burden on society, because the thing in developed countries is, if you are a legal resident or a legal immigrant or citizen, if you are out of job, if you are out of work, then the government has to support you. They pay for welfare. So if you are immigrating, say lots and lots of Mexican people immigrate. I'm not saying this is what happens, but say they do. And then in an economy that is crashing, or that is in a recession, there's no jobs. So there are more people, there's not enough jobs. These people cannot support themselves or their families. The government has to support them. Why would the government want to bring in immigrants who cannot work and who are going to be a burden on their society? They don't want that. They want immigrants who can help their economy grow, not hinder it by becoming dependent on welfare. Everybody know what welfare is, right? Welfare is what the government pays to people who live in poverty or people who cannot take care of themselves. And welfare is only for the citizens or residents of the country. You cannot, I cannot come to the United States right now and say, oh, I got fired from my job, give me welfare. I'm not a resident of the US. They're not going to give it to me. But I can do it in Canada. I'm a Canadian citizen. If I was to go to Canada, if I was out of job, if I was living in poverty, I would say, I am a Canadian citizen, take care of me, give me welfare. Okay? So governments do not, go ahead, Will.
Another point of view, but it's okay. It's maybe we can call it a cross, but I can see one pros, because I think if you look at United States, there are a lot of Hispanic people, but they always contribute to economy, especially if you look at the Hispanic business ownership is growing, and Hispanic purchase power more than $1 trillion. It's contribute to United States economy. I mean, if the Hispanic consumer market, if you compare in the US, I mean, domestic market product, nearly same. you can okay, we can say pros and cons, but it's also immigration. I mean,
It's a pro, yeah.
It's a good for recovery for economy.
Yeah, and I personally am not too familiar with what the immigration policy is of the United States in terms of letting Mexicans or people from South America immigrate. I'm not an expert. I'm not too sure. I'm going to take your word for it when you say that it's very strict for Mexicans, but I don't know. And Alan,
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
I was wondering, because you're a Canadian citizen, how long can you stay in the US?
Oh, okay. I can stay in the US. I actually don't know. I can't work. I can stay here. I mean, I can stay here. I can go back and forth however I please. I can't work here unless a company was to sponsor me.
Oh.
Okay, so I work at Verling because they don't need to sponsor me because it's an online job. So I can do the job from anywhere in the world. But in the US, I can stay here for, I can stay here as long as I want, but I won't be able to do anything legally. I won't be able to claim health insurance. I won't be able to pay taxes. I won't be able to get a job unless a company was to sponsor me and give me a work permit.
What do you mean sponsor you?
Sponsor. Okay, so sponsorship. Sponsor is okay, I'm a Canadian and I'm able to work anywhere in Canada, right? I can't work anywhere in the United States though. Nobody can work anywhere in the United States unless they're a resident, they're citizens, or a company says, we will pay for your visa and we will give you a work permit to come to the United States and work for our company. But then you can only work for that company. You cannot work for anybody else. So this process where you
belong to the company.
You don't belong to the company. I mean, they don't own you. You can quit that job whenever you want. But when you quit, your work permit will expire along with that company. So they sponsored you. They gave you the legal right to work in the United States. Okay? Sorry, Dimitri, what did you say?
I want to ask you a question. When you said that 10 years ago you have emigrated to Canada, but I want to know what was about your English? You know it from your childhood or you studied it?
I spoke English. English is my first language. That is the language I grew up speaking. Even my native language I learned afterwards. Okay, just because I grew up in an undeveloped country. Okay, I grew up in
which country?
I grew up in Pakistan and Indonesia. So I grew up in as undeveloped as a country can get. Okay, so
from your name, I know your origin is from Asia, but I don't know which country.
Oh, Asia, yeah. So I grew up as much in undeveloped country as you can, but the thing about that is there are resources, but they're very expensive. If you want your children to learn English, you have to send them to a school where you're going to be poor at the end of the year. Okay? So I moved around a lot. We moved from country to country where I could learn English, and eventually we immigrated to Canada, and we stayed there because education was free there. All right? So that's a big reason why my family chose to make that move, because they were like, we want our kids
for education.
For education, yeah. I would say my family we moved for education, okay?
Where is the family now? Is it with you in Canada or it stays in Pakistan?
They live in Canada. I don't live with them anymore, but I mean, I was a child when I moved. I'm an adult now, so I don't live with them anymore. Yeah.
Just I want to say something, Hina, that immigration is not simple in developed countries.
Immigration is not. It's not
easy.
Simple.
It's not easy. Yes, it's not allowed in the most.
You know what? I'll tell you, immigration for my family was very easy because my mother is very educated. Okay, so it was very easy for my family. My mother is she speaks French and she speaks English and
a lot of language.
Yeah, so she speaks a lot of languages and she has her background in computers. So she when we immigrated, she had a lot of muscle. So we immigrated because of her. So for us, it wasn't an issue. Immigration is usually an issue when I want to immigrate, but I have nothing to offer to the country that I'm going to. My mother had 3 children, and like she had all these qualifications. So for her, immigration was not an issue. All right. People who usually have issues with immigration, it's like, I am like millions of other people. Why? I mean, as much as countries would like you to come to them, they can't let millions of people immigrate every year. That'll cripple their economy. So they need to be like, okay, why should we give you immigration over a million other people? You need to stand out. You need to know the language. You need to know what skills are needed in the country you're going to. In Canada or in the United States, if you are a doctor, if you're an engineer, the chances that you'll immigrate are very, very high because they need that talent here. Okay? So it's not as clear-cut as immigration is hard or immigration is easy. It depends on what you have to offer and what the country needs that you're going to. Okay?
Yeah, I think it depends on the terms also, especially because politicians use the borders gate for their selection campaign easily. We can see that if you follow these dates or terms, yeah, politicians use like a weapons. One side in the political side, if you look at the political side, is one side really want to seal the borders. The other sides really want to open. It's a big dilemma. I think immigration policy is broken. It's not fair. Some people really like it.
Yeah. And I'm one of those people. Like people who really like it, I'm one of those people who would say, you know what, immigration policy the way it is, I tend to agree with it. I mean, I'm an immigrant myself, so I have an opinion. And I mean, sure, there are some loopholes. You know what a loophole is? Loophole.
Like a band group.
Yeah, like an exception.
A group of yes.
Yeah, a loophole is like an exception which favors some people and not others. So I think there are loopholes, but I wouldn't say that it's a broken system. I know lots of people who are immigrants who have immigrated, and for somebody who comes from an undeveloped country, they come from nothing. When they come to, the developed country, for them it's like, oh my God, I never thought I would have these opportunities available to me. If for them it's a big deal, but for people who come from a rich country, or not rich country, who are rich in their own country, when they move, for them it's like, well, my life was better back home because I had so much money. So it's very, very different. Immigration affects people very, very differently. Alan, you had a question?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Okay, sorry. I thought I did because a lot of people were talking at the same time. Okay. What do you guys want to? Are there any points that you guys want to, get your opinion out there? Anything you want to say?
I just want to add something. That's, for example, in the north countries of Africa, United States give a chance in the lottery. Choose 5,000 person in those country to go with to get their green card and go to United States of America. And if you don't have the chance to go there with this lottery, you must to have a lot of money to go there, or like you said, a high profile in engineering or something, and also you could have a touristic visa for 10 years if you want to go to United States of America. I don't know about Canada.
Okay. I'm not too sure. I don't know if there are any countries that have lotteries for Canadian immigration. I'm not too sure about that. But so a lot of people want to move, right? They want to move to the West. 5,000 is such a small number. It's a very, very small number. So if you have a lottery and say 3 million people apply for the lottery, you only have to pick 5,000. How are you going to pick those people? You're going to see their qualifications, right? So it's all a matter of, it really is. If you work hard, you'll get to where you want to get to. It's a cliche, but it's true. Yuri, you had something? Yeah, go ahead.
I know.
Yuri, you were saying something?
I know 3 people who win DV lottery green card.
Who? Sorry?
Who won a green card?
Who won the lottery for a green card?
3.
He said that he know three people. Yes.
Yeah.
And I know a friend of mine that he goes to Canada. He went to Canada, and they study his folder for 2 years. After that, they gave him the chance to go to immigrate to Canada. And he was working in a bank here in Morocco, and now he is studying biological science in Canada
in
in
Canada.
order to in order to get a job there.
Yeah. So and again, it's like everybody has a different story. There are people who become richer and there are people who become poorer. It really is a lottery of what's going to happen once you move. Nobody knows, right? But I want to say thank you guys so much. I think this has been a very insightful class. I had a lot of fun. I don't know. You guys tell me. Did you have fun talking about, learning about
It was
different?
interesting.
It was interesting?
Yes.
It was
Yeah?
cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm happy. Not everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not everybody was talking, but
Yeah, so
yeah,
one
go
more
ahead. Will.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
as end of the lesson, what's your opinion about the people use English in the class? I want to learn also for myself, for my English, or maybe other people wants to know.
You want to know what
I
your
want to know because end of the class, what you think, what's your opinion about terms of using English in the class? I want to know. I mean, my English or others people may be curious about their English because you are a teacher. What do you think about?
Oh, I'm not gonna individually go like this and this and this, but
Yeah,
I
just
think
say general.
I think all of you in this class were above the intermediate level. Like some of you I would say are advanced, but you all are definitely above intermediate. Okay. All right. I'm not like if you want to know like individually tell me my level. You guys can send me a message on Facebook and I'll tell you that. But I don't want to do it in class in front of everyone. So if you guys are like curious to know, what do you think my level of English is? You guys can actually message me on my Facebook page and I'll reply to you. Okay. I'll give you like a detailed description of what your level of English is in my opinion. All right. Okay.
Okay,
Will?
so
Is that
you
okay?
are garbage. You are garbage as well.
Yeah, that's I said everybody in this class was above intermediate, and that's true. I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying about that.
And certificate on my poster, yes?
She's trying to motivate us, I guess.
No, that
Really?
I wouldn't lie. If somebody was a beginner in this class, I would tell them because this class would be too difficult for them. Okay, so this is the end of class. I'm going to end broadcast and then I'm actually teaching the next class as well. So I'll be right back in like 30 seconds. Okay, guys? I'll see you really soon. Bye.
Okay.